Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, second. I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome a new board member, Eric Kane, from the town of Schuyler. So welcome aboard.
Eric's in the seat that used to be Steve's wife. That seat broke down.
I will do the roll call, please.
Mr. Arcuri, Mr. Bova, Mr. Brodsky.
Here.
Mr. Coyne,
Present.
Mr. D'Elia,
Here.
Mark Ford.
Here.
Mitch Ford, Mr. Mahardy.
Here.
Mr. Matullo.
Here.
Ms. Chesney.
Here.
Mr. Williams. And Mr. Kane. Yes.
You have the December 21, 2015 draft minutes in your packet. Is there a motion to approve?
Aye.
Second? Thank you. Any comments, corrections, deletions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Item number 4 on our agenda will be something we're going to discuss in executive session. So we will go to the resolution award of professional service contract. Dick's going to take us through that one and the next one.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Both agenda items 4 and 5 are resolutions that are associated with the replacement pipe bridge project up at the water treatment plant. If you recall, we discussed that at the last meeting and the previous capital committee meeting, the new bridge. At the last meeting, we did hire O'Brien and Gear engineers to perform the bridge design. These two resolutions tonight, one is for survey services that we need, and also the next resolution, agenda item 5, is to commence the project's environmental review process. The first resolution is for survey services in an amount not to exceed $18,500. That will provide mapping of the area that the bridge will actually be placed on, as well as adjacent easements, and also some property and boundary work. The vast majority of this will occur on Brookfield Power lands across the gorge from the plant, and that's why we've recommended Thu Associates from here in Utica. They perform all of Brookfield Power's boundary surveys. They have a great deal of mapping already that is needed. They also know what their easement requirements are, what their site access and security requirements are. So that's why we recommended Thu Associates. So with that, take any questions? I'm prepared to start right away.
Any questions for Dick? Someone, Vince?
Move it.
As presented, second Frank. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
The second resolution is for the State Environmental Quality Review Act process. Basically, with this resolution, the board is issuing the short environmental assessment form that we filled out with some consultation with Wendy Marsh, our environmental attorney from Hancock and Estabrook. We'll distribute that to both involved and interested agencies. They have up to 30 days to comment. We're actually sending a letter along with it asking them to comment a little quicker than the 30 days so we can make our determination at the next board meeting. Doesn't commit the board to any actions, it just provides basic project information for the agencies to review and then get any comments back to us. We did actually have a meeting here with the DEC last week, had 7 or 8 of their representatives in. That went very well. We identified some fairly minor issues, but things we want to make sure that we take care of and they're addressed in here. So with that, again, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Dick regarding this resolution? Someone move it?
So moved.
Second? Thank you. Did you have a comment, Betty? Oh, sorry, you look like you were flagging me down. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Committee reports, we just did capital. Jim, do you have?
Just really quickly in your binder is the monthly report for actually the year end. Remember we changed our year, so we have a December year end. The numbers have not been audited, obviously. We're still scrubbing those numbers, but just overall for the year, revenue, we exceeded our budget. consumption was better, ended up, believe it or not, we were down throughout the year, but it ended up being better than the prior year. So we're actually up in consumption, and we're favorable in cash flow. So everything was looking good this year, and our audit will be conducted in the first part of March. So we should have that done by the end of March, be able to file to the State Controller's Office.
Any questions for Jim? Thank you, Jim.
Okay?
Pat?
A couple things. One, hopefully fairly quick, but the other one, not quite so quick. Excuse me. I think everybody received a copy of the letter that we sent in as a response to the audit that we had conducted by the State Controller's Office. We received the draft report of the audit in December. We had an exit conference with the auditor right around Christmas time, and there's a 30-day clock in order to get a response in, and we just submitted that last week. And simultaneously with submitting it, I did request and received a meeting with the editorial board at our local newspaper. Jim Corfanta and Dick Goodman came with me. And the goal of the meeting was just to provide some proper context so that when the audit comes out, they have a full understanding of everything that took place and the fact that the audit actually looked at much more than just water losses. They focused in on water losses because they really couldn't find any other problems. So, but that wasn't really in the report. If you read my letter, you would see that. But I think the meeting with the editorial board went pretty well, and hopefully, I know they'll do some follow-up. Hopefully there'll be follow-up that'll be instructive to readers and at least allow an opportunity for people to find out exactly how large the challenge is in trying to maintain infrastructure at this age, and the fact that we're employing, every modern technique and technology that we can to address these things as prudently as we can and as affordably as we can. So I think the meeting was worthwhile, and our understanding is that once we send in our response, that the audit then becomes public, quote, very quickly, was what I was told. So that means it may be released as early as this week. It may come out next week. I did tell the Observer-Dispatch that I would let them know once it was made public and circulated if they don't see it on their own. At that point, I think there'll be probably a series of a couple articles that might involve leak detection and who knows, other kinds of topics.
Didn't they already print it?
It could be.
They already printed it.
They did.
It was in the paper.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really?
I did not see it. I've been a little
Well, it
consumed
wasn't too
lately.
bad, Pat, because I didn't send you any emails about
When
it.
did I get? Yeah, usually I get one from Ellis. What is that?
Did they have
What day was that?
Go out
I
and
thought
I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, well, I've had my head missing in the last 2 days.
Yeah, it was
Some of our other staff.
Well, you had just other things.
I apologize, I got a stack of newspapers on my desk I haven't gotten to yet. Well, there you go then. So you tell me, was the meeting worthwhile over there?
Absolutely.
Okay, good, thank you.
I told you, you didn't get an email.
If it was bad, I'm sure I would have known. All right, well, thank you. I apologize for that. The other matter that's taken a lot of our time, especially over the weekend, as you may know, or if you don't know, we were out of town. We did have an incident at our water treatment plant. Several thousand gallons of fluoride leaked from a tank onto the floor of the treatment plant. And unfortunately, some of it escaped through some floor drains and got out to our sludge lagoons where we send our backwashing, when we backwash the filters. So at this point, it's been remediated. There was a great response from the Utica Fire Department hazmat team, assisted by the Rome Fire Department, the Barnville Fire Department, Prospect Ambulance was there. The good news is that, and if you watched and you saw any of the media, either myself or Phil, who did a great job on Saturday, the water supply was never imperiled. It never got outside of normal parameters. This incident had nothing to do with the way the water is prepared and disinfected and treated. So that was totally fine, and the water was safe. And, there was also no danger to the employees or anybody in the surrounding area that lives in and around the treatment plant, which are the two biggest concerns. Of concern is whether or not there was any environmental consequence that may have happened outside of the treatment plant down near the lagoons. We don't believe if there was any that there was anything significant at all, but we're working pretty closely with the DEC right now to do an investigation on that, which I think we'll know pretty quickly whether or not there was any environmental damage at all, but it's not likely at this point.
Figure out what happened.
Well, it's under investigation, so we won't know for a couple of days yet. We're looking at the equipment, and we need to do federal inspections, interviews with employees and such, so it's a little bit too early to tell right now. So we'll have some report on where we think we might be going with that investigation, probably over the next few days. I think the real takeaway from this is that we did have an incident, but it was something we had trained for. Everybody did what they should have done. Phil did a great job taking care of the response from within the department. Greg Santry, who's not here, coordinated the cleanup with an outside environmental firm. Greg was there from 4 in the afternoon on Saturday till 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Personally, I don't think I could even stay awake that long sitting in my own living room. But the cleanup went well. Everybody, the responders were great, and it came off exactly the way our emergency response plan dictates and requires, and it should work. So our plans are good plans, and we followed it. So the incident at this point is over as far as the plant goes, other than the investigation, and hopefully we'll be concluding any environmental investigations pretty quickly as well. So if you have any questions on that, Phil can probably answer anything you would ask, other than anything that would require executive session.
Just a big mess.
Yeah, it was a big mess. It took a lot to mop up. But other than that, there's always things going on here day to day, but that's all I have to report on at the moment, unless you have questions or anything else.
Must have been a big mop.
Yeah,
Big one.
vacuums and shovels and, yeah.
So when you applied something to the spill that gelled it?
Well, fluoride is, the full name is hydrofluorosilicic acid. It's a very strong acid. It has a pH around 2, a little below 2. Very strong, very toxic in a concentrated form. The first thing is to neutralize it with a base. And because we have to neutralize the water anyway for lead and corrosion control purposes, we already have on hand large quantities of soda ash and lime, which are both bases. They're in powder form. And soda ash was applied first, and then lime to speed the process up of raising the pH to make it into a neutral territory where it could then be safely handled. And at that point, the hazmat team declared that it was safely neutralized, and they were leaving. That occurred Saturday night about 7:30, coordinated?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. And then the cleanup team, Safe Harbor Environmental, came in and started the actual cleanup once the chemicals were neutralized. But when you mix the powder with the liquid, you do get sort of a slurry. It thickened up, so it's kind of like not putting enough hot water in your hot chocolate. It gets kind of thick. So it took a little longer to clean it up, and then they had to do several sprayings and washings. We were up there today, and the room is back to normal. And everything in the plant is under normal operation at this point. Phil, anything on this? Any salient facts that they
How about the people?
Pardon me?
They affected by
Nope.
Gas?
Nope. The building was evacuated. The employees were removed from the scene, and there were no signs that anybody was affected by it in any way.
Treatment plant was operated remotely.
Go ahead.
We were evacuated for several hours. Once hazmat declared the first floor of the building safe to enter, we let personnel back in just to check operations from inside the building. The area where the spill actually occurred was quartered off and remained off limits until 8 o'clock last night when the cleanup crew declared it ready for re-entry.
Where's this crew from? Where's the cleanup agency from?
Clean Harbors is Syracuse-based?
Yeah, I think they came from Syracuse. Yeah, they got there within 2 hours of Greg calling. They had to mobilize and get some equipment together, but they really got there pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a national firm.
It is a national firm. I just think that this.
Yeah, the crew came. My understanding is they came out of Syracuse. And when I got there, our chief operator, Kim Hoffman, and another operator were in the truck, and they actually had the computer set up right in front of the truck, monitoring all the panels on the treatment plant. So they, as Phil said, they could control the plant and monitor the activity right from the laptop in the truck. So even while we were evacuated from the building, it wasn't like the plant was running afoul somewhere, and we had no way of knowing it. So it was a tight operation all the way around. I think all of our people performed really well. I'm very proud of all.
Are all the responding local agencies volunteer?
Except for the Utica Fire Department. Rome is paid.
Rome was there, too.
paid. Barneveld, I believe, is volunteer. They were there to assist. They played, I guess, a backup role in case anything had gone wrong. But the Utica Fire Department hazmat team became the incident commanders and took care of the whole thing right from the start.
Did they send a bill?
Well, we haven't gotten it yet, but I'm sure they will, yeah. We're already in contact with our insurance company. Phil's already had a fairly lengthy call with the adjuster coming in from our liability carrier. They're scheduled to come on site and do a little look around, but they're already on notice for a claim, and so we'll likely get a hazmat bill. We know we're going to get a bill from the environmental folks, and we lost quite a bit of product. So we'll claim what we can under our insurance umbrella and get hopefully most of it back, minus a deductible, obviously.
The only other comment that I would make is that I think Bruce, you had suggested last year sometime to host an awareness event, which we did in May. And certainly the feedback that we got from the responders Saturday night, that proved to be invaluable when they arrived on scene and had an awareness of what chemicals were there. We had an MSDS form for them, so it really pushed the product to clean up along.
Yeah, I was just thinking also, any of the volunteer groups, wouldn't hurt to send some pizza.
Yeah.
Fruit basket or some of the volunteer groups.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That'd be nice.
Anything else for Pat? You all done with your report?
I am, unless there's any other questions on something else.
Any old business? Any new business? We need a motion to go into executive session for security on a server. Can I say that, Ken?
The contract.
Yeah, contract negotiation and
Contract
security.
And a personnel matter as well.
I will post and go into whatever session to deal with.
Great. All those in favor?
Take it back.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
All right.